Finally back to the Commonwealth. After that break where I went to space and beat several cosmic horrors down with a bit of old pipe, I think my brain has finally reset and I can now stomach some more Fallout 4. I was curious though, what exactly should I attempt? Fallout 4 doesn't have the same depth of weapon variety as other games in the series, so I do feel a bit limited in what I could attempt. Then, an idea happened. Why not use the game's most unique weapon for an entire run and see exactly how viable it is? Yep, today we're looking at the Laser Musket. I'm willing to bet most of us discard this thing shortly after we acquire it, and for good reason. It's a wind-up rifle that might have a decent damage potential, but to achieve said damage you need to invest heavily into relevant perks, and then actually wind the gun up for several agonising seconds. And don't get me started on the ammo consumption. This thing can get pretty hungry, and worst of all, if you miss a fully charged shot, you don't waste 1 unit of ammo, you could waste up to 6. The gun also behaves oddly with VATS. If you're loading a charge and immediately enter VATS, then your character will load another, and then if you exit VATS, it will load another. It's odd. Speaking of ammo, the musket uses fusion cells, even though there's actually no way to load them into the gun itself. I know the Fallout 4 team had a lackluster knowledge of firearms, but this feels stupid even by their standards. The musket itself was developed by the Commonwealth Minutemen as an old-timey take on a laser rifle, and I'll admit, I think it looks cool, but the style was favoured over the function. Given that it's not hard to find laser weapons in the Commonwealth, it's clear that they made this to match their old-world revolutionary theme. Of course, there are upsides. It's a potent early-game sniper, it being a laser gun, it's quite accurate, and it can completely disintegrate targets, which doesn't have a lot of benefits, gameplay-wise, outside of keeping feral ghouls down in the presence of a glowing one, but it is fun. Do feel free to call this run me indulging in my curiosity more than anything else, but we're going to see just how viable the musket is. So, can we beat Fallout 4 with only a laser musket? The rules are simple enough, no using other weapons to deal damage, no recruiting companions, and we have to complete the nuclear option quest to finish the run. Oh yeah, I know who we're siding with this time. It'd be pretty rude to use the Minutemen's signature weapon and then ignore them forever, so get ready to defend the Commonwealth at a minute's notice as we work to rebuild a faction that fell due to members' glory-seeking and greed. I'm sure this will be fine. If you end up enjoying this adventure, please do the YouTube things, like the video, sub for more content, leave a comment, pray to the dark gods, you know, the standard internet things. And without further ado, let's begin. So, let me just build my character real quick. You might have noticed I've also customised Nate. There's no reason to do that, I just like to do it sometimes. Next up, a name for ourselves. I couldn't think of one that was a pun on Minutemen or muskets. I didn't try particularly hard. And finally, our stats. We're going to be leaning quite heavily into perception for the accuracy bonus. And of course, we'll throw some points onto intelligence to get our level ups a bit faster. There we go, I'm happy enough with that. And now we just have to hoof it to the vault because nuclear war is starting. Don't you just hate it when that ruins your Saturday? Oh hey, cool, her dresser's doing that thing again. You know what, I bet this nuclear war thing is a hoax. Or perhaps not. You know what, I don't think I'm meant to be staring right at that. Ah, my eyes! I'm just playing with you, we're perfectly safe within the vault. It's a bit cramped down here, but I think it's the perfect place for our family. So let me just quickly step into this decontamination pod. Hold on a second, that's not what a decontamination pod looks like. It's actually getting a bit chilly in here. Oh, now I've been bamboozled again, haven't I? Well, see you next millennia. What happened? Oh, I'm still here? Yeah, it's probably a release thing. Oh, there's a scientist out there. Hello, friendo. I'm a little bit stuck here, and not in the fun way. That guy doesn't look like a scientist, but you know what? Who am I to judge? Still, I'd rather get out of here sooner than later, so if you could just open the hatch for me, pretty please. Oh no, go after Nate first. You know what? That's fair. Nate has a baby. He obviously takes priority right now. Scientist, if you could just give Nate a hand. That looks more like you're trying to take the baby. Wait a minute, you're trying to take the baby! No, stop that, that's mine. I made that. I was going to eat that baby. I mean, not do that. Look, I don't know what babies are for. No, wait, he's got a gun. Nate, watch out! Great watching out, Nate. Really proud of you. Soldier of the Year. Either way, I know I don't know what you're supposed to do with babies, but you're not supposed to steal them, you fuck. So come on, let me out of here. I'll have you. I can definitely win against you in a fight. Wait, where are you going? Why is it getting cold in here? Oh, you boner. Thank God that was cold and I farted in there right before the thing sealed. Well, rest in peace, Nate, and don't you worry. I'll find our baby if it's the last thing I do. Unless I get distracted by shiny stuff, it could happen. You know what you were marrying. As it's become quite normal for these runs, we're going to have to avoid all the combat encounters in the vault itself. Luckily enough, the rad roaches can't open doors, so if you can lure them behind one and shut it in time, you won't have to deal with them. But soon enough, we've made it through the escape tunnel to the entrance, we found our pit boy, we've waited for all the hostiles to stop being hostile so I can put the damn thing on, and we've opened the door. Or rather, we've begun the 6-day waiting process of opening the door. Wow, that lighting effect is just gorgeous. And now it's just a quick elevator ride to the surface. I know there are plenty of folks who find the intro to Fallout 4 to be a tad bit tedious on replay, and I definitely can agree, but it does have some nice cinematic qualities that I really appreciate. And now we just have to wait for all of our Creation Club stuff to load in, so let's jump ahead. Since our weapon of choice is just down the road, we're going to make a beeline straight for it. It's just a brief jaunt down to Concord, run, grab Laser Musket, ta-da, we have our gun. We can now begin the run proper. First of all, let's see what we're working with. And what's this coming around the corner? It's our first test subject. In the interest of conserving my ammo, I'm going to beat them to death. I know we have 49 cells at the moment, but that's not a whole lot. This is another moment I kind of want to praise. I really do like that Fallout 4 has a bash feature. I don't love the Laser Musket's iron sights though. You better believe as soon as I can I'm changing to the reflex sight. So far, the damage, it's not bad. These guys are level 1 enemies though, so it's not like it's representative of a greater run, but it's nice to know that I can almost one-shot them with a single blast. And with the raiders dead and Preston done yelling at us, we've completed our first quest and gotten our first level up. Since I really need the musket to be doing as much damage as possible, we're taking Rifleman as our first perk. And look, we're already up to 36 damage. Not the beefiest gain, but I ain't gonna say no. So let's see if that extra 6 points to our damage is enough to end a raider with a single blast. Apparently yes. Of course that was a sneak attack, but still. Still, when it's a viable option, I'll still be bashing raiders to conserve my limited ammo supply. Don't worry too much though. We're gonna fix that very soon. Years of playing this game, have taught me exactly where to go for fusion cells. There we go, I cannot stress how terrible these sights feel. But hey look, a single charged shot is enough to kill one of these raiders even without a sneak attack, so nice. And something it took me way too long to realise is that the Minutemen outfit, the one you can wear under armour, actually increases your perception, so VATS killing is going to become a lot more viable. With the last raider down, we meet Preston, we agree to help him, head downstairs to get the fusion core, then it's just a short jaunt up to the roof, and ta-da, we've got our power armour. Like with most runs I do, I'm probably not going to use it a whole bunch. But since we're about to try and kill a Deathclaw with our wind-up laser toy, you bet I want all the protection that I can get. Obviously we'll clear out some raiders along the way, we don't want a Deathclaw to have all the fun. I always forget that bashing in power armour does more damage. And crap, I've already lost an arm. Eventually though, the beast emerges as if spawned by hell itself. Let's just see what sort of damage we're dealing with. Oh no. Alright, let's not lose heart. There are plenty of ways to get this Deathclaw whittled down. The raiders will be constantly shooting it, so that's a plus. And if I charge my shots and aim for the right part of the body, then I'm quite confident that we can, what? Oh, Bethesda, why? Fuck it, I'm just going to accept that that's what happened. To make it up to you, I promise I'll kill a Deathclaw properly later on. Eventually, Concord is secure and the Minutemen are saved. And now we can go and meet them in Sanctuary. The downside to doing a Minutemen playthrough is that there are some Radiant quests I'm just going to have to do if I want to push the story forwards. And of course, we're going to have to build some settlements here and there. But before we get into that, we should probably upgrade our weapon of choice. Since we're working with an energy weapon, we are going to have to put some points into science. But for now, we'll do what we can. We'll upgrade the capacitor, now we can crank it 3 times, give it a bigger stock, and now we just upgrade the sights. Or not. Maybe we don't do that. Yeah, I saw this coming. Well, time to scrap as much of this settlement as possible to see if I can find what I need. Bear with me.
It's all over, but...
So, it's night time now. I did a bit of construction, picked some locks, even though I could have just destroyed the containers they were in. But hey, doing that got me a level up, which I immediately put onto the refractor perk because we're going to be making an enemy of the Institute later. Annoyingly though, after all that scrapping, I still don't have the parts I need to make the reflex sight. So we're going to go to sleep for the night and then in the morning we'll head to the shop. Off to the diner we go, and hey look, we've met Trash Can Carla on the road, which means now, sometimes, she'll appear in Sanctuary, and we can trade with her there instead. Well, we might as well see what she's got in stock. We only need 1 bit of nuclear material, and looky there, she's got exactly what we need. We could just head straight back to Sanctuary, but since we're in the area, we might as well head down to the diner and complete the order up quest. I did try to end things in a diplomatic fashion. I even got Wolfgang here to lower his gun, so that's something. Sadly though, I couldn't convince Trudy to pay up, so we ended up having to vaporize him anyway. I know I could always just reload and keep trying until I got the outcome I wanted, but I already did that once in the... what run was it? Was it the crossbow run? I can't remember. All I know is it took too long and I ain't doing it again. That was my kill, Trudy, you bitch. Either way, we've now got our second merchant. And we're pretty close to another level up. Oh, hello.
It's all I got.
Thank you, I guess. This is going to be a weird run, isn't it? Either way, we can now go and build our reflex sight. You might be wondering why I'm not going for a scope. It's because of VATS. If you have a scope attached to your weapon, then its cost to use in VATS is significantly higher, and we're trying to avoid that. And we're now going to take a moment to paint our armour in the Minutemen colours. I debated whether or not to allow myself to do this, considering that paint jobs are a creation club thing, and applying a paint job to a bit of armour or weapon gives you a bit of XP, so you could argue that I've been paying for an advantage. However, as the next gen update gave us the Enclave stuff, which automatically added Enclave paints to the game, I think it's fair game. I'm just subbing Enclave paints for the Minutemen paints. Now I'm just going to do some planting to see if we can make Sturgis happy before we even accept that quest. Now we can talk to Preston to properly start the Minutemen playthrough. As per usual, he's giving us a quest to go and visit Ten Pines Buff to deal with their raider problem. And since talking to him completes the When Freedom Calls quest, we've just reached our next level. We'll deal with that in a second. I just want to quickly talk to Sturgis. I've already completed most of what we wanted. We've got some turrets lying around and we've got some water. What we don't have though is enough food. So there's some incentive to head to the next settlement, because I can steal their food. To adventure. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Hey Raider, do you know what I forgot? But before you answer, just know, it wasn't ammo. I'm sure it'll come to me. I mean eventually. On the way there's plenty of chances to clear out some hostiles. Hey look, an exploding mole rat. That's never not fun. Let me just dodge that Molotov real quick, and hey, I wonder if I should do a run where I only use Molotovs. That could be fun. Veronica, focus. That's a bad idea for another day. Let me just finish hunting these dogs, and ooh, a level up. Level up! That's what I forgot, the level up. I swear I do this all the time. Anyway, we're taking Medic and Lone Wanderer. And now that we've reached Ten Pines Bluff, we can talk to the settlers and get their quest to stop the raiders that are harassing them. And for your advanced payment, I'm taking some of your tomatoes. Well, tatoes, but same thing, shut up. Real quick, back to Sanctuary. Let me just plant these down here. And just like that, Sanctuary Hills is now producing the bare minimum amount of food. That's a happy Sturgis and another quest under our belt. Now we're going to need to push forward so we can build up a bit of an ammo reserve. Fusion cells might not be exactly scarce, but they're also not the easiest ammo to find. But like I said earlier, I know exactly where to go to get what I need. We're going to have to pass through Lexington, and of course we're going to rob the bank while we're in town. I did have to stop and kill some raiders who managed to spot me whilst I was sneaking. I think it's the bright red glow from my chamber that was giving me away. But eventually we're back on track and we activate the fire support quest. Now that it's daybreak and we've reached the police station, let me explain. The feral ghouls here are not what we're after. We want to help Dance deal with the simps in ArcJet systems. Most of them drop about 10 fusion cells per pop, and if we loot all their guns, we'll get whatever ammo was in the gun at the time the simp died. Depending on how we play this, we could walk away with about 500 cells, and that's quite a good number. And before we head out, we've just completed the fire support quest and gotten, you guessed it, another level up. Yeah, we can't get Rifleman 2 just yet, but you know what we can get? Bloody Mess. That's a 5% boost to our damage, and I'm going to take it. Once we're done searching the ghouls to see if they've got any goodies on them, we can jump right in and do Dance's quest, something I very rarely do. Off we go. There's a few raiders on the road, but they mostly go down quite easily. I'll admit though, Dance did a lot of the work, and before we know it, we're at ArcJet Systems. Let's aggravate some simps. Okay, that's not amazing. It looks like it'll take about 3 cells, or more, apparently more, to take down a single synth, and that's assuming none of them are unique synths like patrollers or leaders. However, once the lasers finally stop firing and all the bodies have hit the floor, we can start looting. Yep, about 11 cells, but what's inside the gun? Ooh, that was nice. After searching every synth in that room and taking all their guns, I was up to 160 rounds. That's pretty good. This is also a mechanic that took me way too long to realise was in the game. You'd think someone who's been playing Fallout 4 since roughly the time of its release, I probably would have noticed that sooner. Nope, it took me until about last year. This is just a regularly scheduled reminder that I'm not a very clever person. We deal with some turrets down the hall, we find a big engine room, I accidentally piss off an entire army of simps. You know, a regular day at the office. Luckily, most of the simps in this room only take about 3 cells a pop to kill, so as long as we're accurate, we'll definitely... Okie dokie then, we'll definitely be getting a return on our investment. Once the final synth has been put down, we can begin looting. And oh boy, we've got a lot to loot.
It's all over, but the...
So, that's quite a lot. Honestly, it's nice having some ammo to burn, and this is partly the reason why I'm going against the Institute. Don't get me wrong, the Brotherhood of Steel also drop laser weapons and energy cells, but not as frequently. Plus, simps are just easier to kill. Honestly, so far the musket is really holding its own. Decent range, decent power. Have I been overlooking what is generally quite a good weapon? Anyway, that's ArcJet system sorted. Dance offers us a job as a thanks. No thank you, doing more work as a reward doesn't sound like a reward to be honest. But you know what is a good reward? That level up. As expected, most of the perks I actually want are locked behind higher levels, but you know what? Since I'm using a weapon that I very rarely even touch, I'm going to progress down a path that I very rarely progress down. The luck path. What I really want is this. Critical banker. Being able to save up my critical hits sounds really helpful, but we got a ways to go before we're there yet, so a point onto luck it is. After a quick trip to Trudy to buy some more ammo, I went back to Sanctuary Hills to do a bit of decorating. I don't want to go too nuts with it, I just want this wooden shack to look a bit less like shit. And after roasting all the bits of meat I gathered on my journey, we're ready to continue. It's time to finally deal with the raiders at the assembly plant. Now that I've got an upgraded musket and ammo to spare, I can actually afford to carry out this assault. You know, there is something weirdly satisfying about the way the laser musket fires. Anyway, let's breach the factory. As you probably know by now, we only have to kill one raider to complete the quest. That's not to say I can't afford to spare some ammo for the rest of these gits, and we are quite close to another level up. I forget how quickly all the XP builds up from cooking and decorating. I've just spotted our target, so with any luck this will be over relatively quickly. Let's see what free cells do. Most of his health bar, that's not bad. Now quickly before he can heal, and that's our quest requirements filled. You know what though, because it does feel a bit underwhelming otherwise, I am going to clear out the raiders in this room. And wait for it. Yeah, level up. Let me just finish clearing out the raiders. There we go, now we can deal with it. You know what, we should probably put a point onto science so we can continue upgrading our gun. Oh yeah, there are raiders outside as well. You know what, I truly can't be bothered to deal with them all, so we're just gonna run. Just put some distance between us and the survivors. Now we can open the map, now we can head back to Ten Pines. I did your work for you, now join the Minutemen. Back to base, both to report to Preston that I did the quest, and so I can see what kind of upgrades I can do to the musket now that I've got a science skill. Currently, it looks like I can do nothing. I still need parts. I'll see what we can get from Carla and what we can get from Trudy. Maybe that'll be enough to make the difference. I mean, smarter people would have taken notes of the things they needed, but apparently I've lost that ability. You know what though, since I don't feel like I've actually got what I need yet, we might as well keep pushing onwards towards Diamond City. That's got better merchants. I mean, we do have to progress the main story at some point. Plus I get to kill more enemies, like these raiders that hang out on this boat. Can you imagine spending years honing your survival skills and brutalizing the wasteland only to get killed by some frozen fuck with a toy laser? And I've just noticed the laser beam isn't lined up with the hole it should be. I know, it's a small thing, it's not that important. Ooh, is this a raider we missed? No, it's a mercenary. Okay. I mean, it's no base jumping Deathclaw, but it's still a little bit odd. I don't think I've ever seen a mercenary just walking up to Diamond City. Who really cares? Let's kill some muties. Honestly, the laser musket is handling things quite well. Given the fact that it's carrying me so well, I'm starting to regret calling it a toy. I think that might have been a bit of a misrepresentation. Now that we've made it to Diamond City, we just wait for the cutscene to play, and as soon as the gate opens, we just leg it inside and leave Piper to the mayor. Since I'm only here for shopping, let's just do some of that now. I still can't fully remember what I actually want, but I'm sure I'll figure it out, and I can sell off all the stuff I don't need. You know what, I'm gonna bet that it was adhesive I was looking for. I almost always run out of that. Let's test this scientific theory. Ah, look at all that highlights, we can definitely do stuff now. With the bracketed long barrel now installed, I can add a muzzle to this thing. Tighten damn it with one adhesive short. Oh yeah, Preston, by the way I helped that settlement out. What's that you say? You want me to be your general? Why Preston, what a sane decision that is. And with that hefty promotion comes a task, clearing out Starlight Drive-In, my favourite settlement site in Fallout 4. Before we do that though, I'm going to quickly pop over to Diamond City and do an interview for Piper. It's fast, easy, and I'll get some XP out of it. Honestly, you can answer the questions however you like. I usually just take the easiest route, by which I mean pressing X. It's not like any of the answers your Soul Survivor gives aren't incredibly generic. Either way, doing the interview got me enough XP to push me to level 10, and because I'm incredibly unoriginal myself, I'll be taking the second rank of Rifleman. We're up to 47 damage. That also includes the slight damage boost we got from improving our barrel. With these little damage increases, I think we're ready to take on Vault 114's Triggermen. We'll have to do it sooner or later anyway. The trip wasn't exactly quiet, but it certainly was easy. That is not how you stand on the stairs. Like I said though, not a difficult journey, just not very quiet. Alright, let's see what we can do. I've already beat these guys with a boxing glove, a switchblade, and whilst completely naked, so I can't imagine this is going to be particularly difficult. Maybe a bit more ammo intensive than I'd like. Of course, that could be alleviated by just, you know, meleeing the guys who are nearly dead rather than wasting 2 cells on them. What was I thinking? Either way, let's put our sniping skills to use. So this entire fight was pretty easy. Don't get me wrong, the mobsters will absolutely demolish your health if you're not careful, but like I said a minute ago, I've already beat this place with no clothes, a tiny knife, and a boxing glove not meant for actual combat. The laser musket's drawbacks are almost completely negligible. Given how upsetting this weapon's design can be, it's surprising it's as effective as it is. Have we accidentally discovered a god tier weapon? It's certainly starting to seem that way. But you know what, I ain't gonna say no to an easier run, and there's always the potential that this is the calm before the storm. I mean, we are only dealing with low-tier gangsters here. They're not exactly the Brotherhood of Steel or the Institute. Even then, though, this is pretty sad. Feels like we made it to Nick's holding cell in no time at all. Let me just deal with Dino real quick. Hey Nick, need your help. How good are you at tracking down entrees? Or children, as normal people call them. You know what, he seems quite happy to help. And that means we can get the hell out of here. Yes, I know I can't take them down with a single cell, but I'm still gonna try, Titan, damn it. Honestly, there's so little to see here, the Triggermen are barely a nuisance. I know I already said it, but seriously, this is sad. It's the way they just have to stop and watch me reload my weapon. It's almost like that scene in John Wick where John holds the guy at shotgun point and has to reload it before he can fire. You know, just considerably less cool. Skinny Malone, I'm counting on you to make up for what your boys sorely lack. I mean, it's not like he's going to be a bitch and go out in a single volley to the head. Well, I suppose it was a critical shot, I should give him some credit. Oh, hey, level up. Let me just finish cleaning things up. That That's Darla, that's Sammy, and goodbye Jonathan. Fallout, are you okay? Wait, no, it's Fallout, what am I asking? Anyway, let's get out of this vault and into the sunlight, or nightlight, I suppose. Nick will thank us. You're welcome, Nick. Help us find our baby. Yeah, alright, says Nick. And now we can sort out that level up that Skinny gave us. That was so kind of him, really. Bloody mess, rank 2, let's go. 49 damage, my cup runneth over. Let's head out. No, not to complete the main quest, we're gonna go do the Starlight Drive-In thing. Once I've done a bit of upgrading to my armour, of course. And let me just pop in here and grab some pre-war money I've been stashing. Those building supplies are gonna cost us. Oh cool, another Radiant quest, that's exactly what I needed. You know what just occurred to me? There's probably more I could do with my musket now. And look at that, I'm right. I'll take one beam focuser, please. I know the beam splitter technically increases its damage, but at the cost of making it into a shotgun. And I'm trying to lean more into a sniper thing. Ooh, and look at that, let's up it to a 4 crank capacitor while we're here. We're probably not going to make it to a 6 crank capacitor before the main quest is done, but we'll keep pushing it as far as we can. Now it's just a quick trip to Trudy's diner for some parts, and then we can begin clearing out Starlight Drive-In. I'm not going to make a behemoth of a settlement like I normally would, but I will try to make something that at least looks, I don't know, I guess passably acceptable. After, of course, we clear out the local vermin. Yeah, that really doesn't take long. They're not exactly the hardest enemies, mole rats. You don't even really need to shoot most of them. With them out of the way, we can now access the workshop and turn this into this. It was never going to be my best work, but I'm still fairly happy with it. We've already got our first settlers moving in. I really wish I did some sort of tour with this. I mean, there's not a whole lot to show off. It's just 2 shacks, a bit of farm, and some turrets. It didn't even take me all that long. I think about 20 minutes. And during the construction, I managed to push myself to level 12. I think we should keep pushing our luck, don't you? So let's advance the main quest then. That means going to Diamond City, doing the interview with Nick. He speculates that a man named Kellogg stole our child. Nick adds to that Kellogg actually lived here in Diamond City not long ago and even had a child with him. Granted, that child was about 10 years old, so it's probably not our son, but it likely means he's kidnapped another child. Let's go search his house. Oh, yeah, it's locked. Let's go steal the key. Sorry, I mean purchase the key. Through very legitimate means. Now let's go search his house. Oh boy, I'm just so excited to do burglary. Sorry, I mean search for clues for our missing family. Let's just speed through this bit, press button under desk, open secret room. Ah, no cornflakes. Guess we just missed him. Don't worry though, Nick's connected. Nick has friends who can help us. Friends with 4 legs, a tail, and the most handsome smile in all the land. I dog me. Who the good boy? Who the good boy? Who the good boy? Lead the way, you magnificent papa. We'll find our baby in no time. Huh, what if it's already dead? I'm sure it's fine. It's only a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland we have to search. Seems we're on the right path. Either that or Dogmeat's got an unquenchable nicotine addiction. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing happening in this wasteland. I can't believe I'm going to say it, but I think these might be bad dogs. Or maybe they're just mad that I shot them. It does tend to upset people. Oh yeah, I forgot that VATS doesn't always render the full barrel of your gun. I wonder if I can even bear what's about to happen. I'm funny, fuck you. For not laughing, the punishment is death. But seriously, 2 shots for a Yao Guai? This weapon is absolutely broken. Broken in my favour. Oh hello, am I about to make a mechanical friend? Apparently not. I will say though, I'm not upset with the amount of damage we're doing. In my very first couple of playthroughs of this game, I was genuinely afraid of these things. They do a lot of ouch. But look at that, it took me 2 blasts. From the Laser Musket. Do better, Mr. Gutsy. Oh, before I forget, my level up. Give me an L-U-C-K. Nothing like crossing a suspiciously quiet bridge. Oh, those are ghouls. I cast Zap. It's super effective. Oh, hello there, do you want some as well? Well, I've got plenty. Take this. How the fuck did I miss? That clearly hit it. I call shenanigans. Bash in the face. It's super effective. And I've got a zap for you, and another for the fella behind us. Go on, you've earned it. I always forget there's a whole bunch of ghouls waiting at this bit. Eventually we're on our way again. It almost feels like no time at all before we finally reach Fort Hagen, where apparently Kellogg is hiding. Thank you for your service, Dogmeat, but I can take it from here. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? I used to do that voice for my dogs and it would always devolve the way it just did, and they would look about as confused as you probably are now. Anyway, heading inside. Not only is Kellogg hiding in here somewhere, but he's doing so behind an army of simps. Simps who carry fusion cells. Cells that I want. I mean, granted, I'm not exactly running short, but I'm not about to say no to more ammo. And thanks to all those little damage buffs, it's looking like 3 cells will be enough to put most of these guys down. Oh yeah, look at that return on my investment. That was just 1 room of simps and I'm almost up to 500 cells. Honestly, the musket is just melting through these fools. Like with the triggermen, I almost feel bad. But like earlier, I'm not mad. I'm just surprised, really. This simp leader is the toughest one so far, and even its health is disappearing in large chunks. Couple that damage potential with the amazing range this thing has, and I can end most fights from several rooms away. These are the machines the Wastelanders are scared of, the things that will threaten to replace us. But look at this. It's almost pitiful. There was virtually no challenge here until I got to Kellogg. And even Kellogg wasn't all that bad. I mean, just look at that damage. His synths are all going down in a single shot, and he seems to be really struggling to hit me. His shots don't even hurt that much. Almost as soon as it started, it's over. Kellogg is nothing but a pile of ash on the floor, and we've now entered Act 2. Sadly, we're too late. Kellogg already handed the kid off to the Institute, but I did take his gun and a bit of his brain as a consolation prize. Well, this place is depressing, let's get out of here. Ah, cool, a blimp. Back to Nick and tell him that we were a bit late, but thanks to me pilfering a bit of brain that I definitely wasn't going to eat at any point, we can visit Dr. Amari in the town of Goodneighbor, and perhaps she can help us extract some memories from this thing. No time to waste, let's get to Goodneighbor. Hey, do you reckon 2 fusion cells will be enough to down a super mutant? The answer is yes. Here we are, Goodneighbor. Let's try and make a good first impression. Pew! Anyone want some of this? Oh geez, it's the mayor. Look sir, I'm very sorry about murdering that dude just now, but in my defense, he looked a little bit sketchy. Honestly, our boy Hancock doesn't care. If you walk through Goodneighbor's doors and just shoot Finn before he can even talk to you, Hancock will compliment you. Is this a town with no rules? Oh, I couldn't be happier. Anyway, memory den, Dr. Amari. So yeah, we took a bit of Kellogg's brain and we need you to scan it for memories to find my kid. We are very normal people. What do you mean the brain is encrypted? To cut the wibbly-wobbly science talk short, the bit of brain will be inserted into Nick, we both hop into a memory lounger each, and we use our collective minds to break the encryption and see Kellogg's memories. And we're getting to a bit where I kind of want to praise the game again. I know I've said it before, but I want to say it again. I really like this section of Fallout 4 where we're exploring Kellogg's memories and we can interact with them all. Yeah, I'm not doing it now because I'm more interested in just reaching the end of the game, but it's such a cool idea, and like with Dogmeat doing the whole tracking thing earlier, I really wish it was used a bit more. Oh well, maybe in Fallout 5, huh? Oh no, it's the guy from Blade Runner! In this memory, we learn a few things. First of all, our good friend Kellogg here is being tasked to find a rogue scientist that escaped the Institute, and second, if we want to get to the Institute, we're going to have to learn how to teleport. That might be a challenge. But you know what, I reckon that... Amari, I'm this way. Oh, honey, you didn't read the stage directions properly, did you? Anyway, what I was going to say is I reckon that scientist that escaped the Institute might have some answers. I mean, sure, he's currently hiding in the glowing sea, the most radioactive place in the Commonwealth, but, you know, I'm sure it'll be a nice, gentle stroll in the park. Ooh boy, level up. We can't quite get the banker perk I wanted, but what we can get is better criticals. More damage per critical shot? Yes, please. Well, no time to waste, let's get out of here. We've got a bit of a trek to make before we reach the edge of the glowing sea. And along the way, there's not 1, but 2 encampments of super mutants to deal with, and this is where things start to get harder. This second camp almost killed me. I can't say for certain that pumping my luck stat is what saved me right there. What I can say is I should probably move away before the suicide— oh fuck, it's right there. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Ah, see, bravely running away will solve all your problems. Smile, you son of a... I'm about 90% sure the only reason that enemy type exists in this game is because it's so much fun to blow them up. Anyway, let me just finish off the rest of the muties here. Peekaboo, I see you. Hey doggy, do you want to learn a trick? Apparently yes, it did. You're dying anyway. Oh hey, cool, look, I found the wreckage of the vertibird that exploded when I killed that super mutant. You see this leg here? This is why you need trained pilots. Anyway, just a short walk up the road and we're at the edge of the glowing sea. This is where the fun begins. It is, surprisingly, not that bad. I mean, granted, I am currently developing 8 new types of cancer for every second I stand here, and sure, the area has a few more deathclaws calling it home than I'd like, but if I'm being honest, it's really easy to avoid them. I mean, granted, this area has low visibility, but deathclaws have incredibly high perception, or at least they're supposed to. But don't you worry, I do remember the promise I made earlier. We're definitely going to kill a deathclaw with our laser musket, just one a bit further along. Until we get to that point though, there really isn't a whole lot to see. I avoid most combat just by sneaking through the area, and what few normally powerful enemies I do encounter, well, they're dealt with a single sneak attack. It did look like things were going to get exciting when a rad scorpion jumped me, but it turns out 4 fusion cells focused into a single beam into the face is kind of the kryptonite of everything around here. Ah, looky here, feral ghouls, maybe we'll get a challenge after all. Since these ghouls do radiation damage to you as well as standard damage, we're constantly losing maximum HP every melee hit we take, and due to the way our weapon functions, a large group of melee focused enemies is kind of its kryptonite. I admit it doesn't take a whole lot to kill each ghoul, but with their erratic movement combined with my long reload time, this could potentially be a challenge that even I can't overcome with my all-powerful— oh, who am I kidding, of course I overcame it. Before I knew it, we were down to 3 ghouls, then 3 becomes 2, and you probably know the rest. Or maybe I could just miss several shots in a row. That seems a lot more on brand for me. I do after all have the aiming ability of an Imperial Stormtrooper with a terminal case of wanker's cramp, although this missing phase passes relatively quickly. Before I know it, I'm right by Virgil's cave, which finally means it's time to put down a Deathclaw. Let's see what we can do. Honestly, that was more damage than I was expecting. Okay, that shot didn't do quite as much damage as I was hoping, but we're still in the game, although I don't think this Deathclaw is really giving it its all. Ordinarily, an attempt on a Deathclaw's life like this would have it running up the nearest surface towards us. It just sort of didn't this time though. And I know for a fact that where I'm standing is a place that Deathclaw can easily reach to if it wants to. I must have spent several in-game hours waiting for it to come at me. In the end, it just sort of forgot about us, and I think luck really is on my side here because it only took one more shot. What the hell is this weapon? Why have I not been using this the whole time? Maybe it's the crank, but really it's not that dissimilar to a bolt-action rifle. It just animates differently and doesn't have a true magazine reload. Couple that with the ability to overcharge our shots, and I think this weapon might be a bit OP. Anyway, we found Virgil. He's a little bit worried about Kellogg coming out of the woodwork to kill him, so I put his mind at ease. Don't worry, we murdered the dangerous murderer, so that must mean we're an even less dangerous murderer, so you can be safe. That's how maths works, right? Virgil agrees to help us get into the Institute by drawing up some plans for a molecular interceptor. Basically, we're gonna hijack the Institute's teleport array. I mean, given the fact that he was an FEV researcher, I'm not entirely sure why he knows how to do this, but I'm not about to look a gift mutant in the mouth. Although the plans on their own won't be enough, what we need is a Corser chip. If you're new here or just don't know, the Corsers are Institute Sims that basically hunt down other rogue Sims, and they're the only ones that can teleport in and out of the Institute at will. So if we want to get in, one of them has to die. Oh cool, level up. And just like that, our luck is finally where it needs to be. On the next level up, we can get the critical banker perk I wanted. Well, let's get to hunting Corsers. I'm hoping that when we get to the Corser, that'll be the challenge boost we desperately need. It's so weird having not died a single time up to this point. Don't worry too much though. I'm certain a reckoning is coming our way. At least I kinda hope it is. After all, this is supposed to be a challenge run. Alright gunners, let's see what you got. This is a mercenary army with firearms and numbers on their side. If they can't stop us or even slow us down properly, then I don't know what to say. I'll give them credit, the first small group of them I came across has taken away about half of my health bar. I mean, I can't just waft down food like a maniac to get it back, but still, it's something. It would probably help them if they didn't just stand in the open like that and allow me to line up my perfect headshot, or if they had anything approaching peripheral vision, or if they could aim worth a damn. Being a terrible shot is meant to be my thing. Largely, these first few floors have been very little trouble. And something else working against the gunners is the fact that most of them carry laser weapons, meaning I can restock my ammo with every kill. Things got a bit scary crossing this bridge. I always forget one of the gunners spawns with a missile launcher, and then up here, I made a bit of an error. For the first time ever, I remembered there was a pulse mine here that will quickly degrade my health if I don't deal with it. Usually that's what gets me, but today my downfall came from the fact that I have a really sucky memory, and I already forgotten about the missile launcher guy. We finally welcomed the first death of the run. Let's reincarnate and try again. I just have to remember that one of the enemies has a missile launcher, because it's not like the other gunners are putting up much of a fight. Alright, we've got the missile launcher in our sights, and no, I waited too long, They're reloading, get them now. Yeah, you won't be sniping me again, will ya? Aw, legendary gunner, how cute. Did you really think that would be enough to stop me? That wasn't even a critical hit. Let's keep moving forward. The upper floors? It's more of the same. Most gunners go down in a single volley, and almost every kill spits out more fusion cells than I put into it. Hell, even when I'm walking right into one of their traps, they can't do anything. My musket is just too powerful. I came here looking for a challenge, and if this entire army can't provide that, well, what hope does one Institute Corser have? Okay, let's get this over with. Okay, so he's a bit beefier than the others, but I don't see any reason to panic. Oh yeah, the stealth boy. Now I can't target him in VATS. Balls. You know what, we've tackled worse, I'm sure we got this. We just gotta make use of cover, keep up the pressure. We've almost got this, come on. Oh crap. Well, let's try again. I like my chances, we almost had him on that first attempt. I just didn't time leaving cover and my healing properly. Won't make that mistake again. Just stay in cover, use the doors for some extra protection, and right at the end, get very lucky, score a headshot that I wasn't aiming for, and win the fight. Yeah, can't complain about that. We now have our Corser chip. And wouldn't you know it, I've leveled up again. You know what time it is, it's critical banker time. Just in time too, because I'm pretty sure the next big thing we have to deal with is a giant sea monster. But we get ahead of ourselves, it's time to seek out the railroad. They have the tech we need to decode the Corser chip. Oh crap, that's a Splody boy. Movie reference. Ah crap, my movie reference failed. Oh crap, I'm in a tight alley and they're throwing bombs. Get out of the way. Fuck it, normal shot. I ain't gonna look stupid twice. You know, if I can help it. There we go, Railroad HQ. Ah, fuck it, I forgot to talk to Amari first. What's that? Go find the railroad? Well, if you insist. I probably didn't have to come back here and talk to her. Anyway, back to the church. Let's just deal with the ghouls up here. Now deal with the ghouls down here in the catacombs. Oh, yep, and this last one. Can't forget about this fella. Then just solve the easiest puzzle in the world. Although the only reason I make that claim is because I have outside knowledge and the ability to read. I'm guessing the latter is something that most wastelanders can't do, and we've come face to face with the railroad themselves. We strike up a deal, they'll decode the Corser chip for us, that way we get the data Virgil needs, but they keep the chip afterwards. Which, fair enough, I don't need it. There we go, that's our Corser chip decoded, we can now return to the glowing sea. I'm sure we've given Virgil enough time, and we have. He's drawn up the signal interceptor plans. Now we just have to build this enormous contraption. Luckily I have some friends that can help me, or at least I will after I, uphold my end of the bargain. I might have gathered a few Radiant quests that I've just sort of been ignoring. Yeah, they're not exactly hard, let's just go and knock them out. First up, we're clearing out Starlight Tidings Co-op and setting up a settlement there. As you can probably guess by now, the feral ghouls that call this place home were really not a problem. I did kind of want to set up a bigger, more impressive settlement there. I even went back to Lexington to rob the bank so I could pay for supplies. Although I get the impression that the locals are pretty upset with my constant thievery. But hey, nothing a bit of violence can't solve. I'll be honest though, when I do try to build a settlement here, I often get turned off by these existing cabins. Don't get me wrong, they are much better than what we have in Sanctuary Hills, meaning there are no huge holes in the roof, but you can't really install any doors, and any building I could add would ruin the feng shui of the area. To try and incentivise me to return to the location, I did start planting tato, mutefruit and corn. If you don't know, those are the things you need to make adhesive. Admittedly, not amazingly useful for this particular run, but it's nice to have the option. And for decoration, let's just put a flag up here. Then all we really need is a generator, a settlement recruitment beacon, and some sort of water source. I'll use this powered pump. That way, if we ever run low on caps, we can just come back here and harvest the water. I did put up a few walls to make this place look a little bit defended, and I started construction of a building. I'm pretty sure it was going to be a bar, but then it occurred to me, I've not been investing in my charisma stat. I don't have either local leader perk, and without those, I can't set up any stores in my settlements. So I basically just wasted a bunch of materials building an empty shed. With the realization that I couldn't really put it to any use, I basically abandoned the project. Oh well, let's go and tell Preston that we established a new settlement. Oh yeah, we should probably let him in on that whole breaking into the Institute thing. I don't think I've said anything about that to him. Yeah, he seems pretty on board with it. Oh look, another level up. You know what, I'll take the next rank of critical banker. Now we just need Sturgis to decipher the plans, which he does. Very easily. And to my absolute surprise, I don't need to make any trips into the wasteland to gather supplies. I've already got everything I need. I knew there was a reason I always play like an absolute kleptomaniac. Now all we have to do is meet the power requirements of this very hungry beast, and before I can say Nuka-Cola, I'm being teleported blindly into the Institute. Oh hey, cool, I'm not dead. Let's celebrate by stealing Institute data for Sturgis. Now we just take one of the longest elevator rides humanly possible. Oh no, wait, 2, my bad. And by the Titan, there's our child. No, not the kid in the weirdly creepy glass room. It's this old douchebag, of course. Yeah, turns out we were frozen for just a little bit longer than we thought we were. Now Sean is the head of the Institute. You know, that faction that destroys towns, abducts people, played an active role in destroying the Commonwealth Provisional Government, the thing that was trying to, restore some stability to the wasteland after the war. And of course, we can't forget all the slavery. Yeah, no offense, Sean, but I think I'm gonna bounce. Better go and show Sturgis that we're not dead. Yeah, he seems reasonably content with our return. Oh yeah, I stole that data for you, by the way. What's that? You want to reward me with a level up? Why, thank you so much, you're so kind. You know what I'm feeling? Better criticals rank 2. So we now know our son is alive, and is also a bit of a dick. So I guess the Minutemen are all we've got. If we want to advance the Minutemen story though, we are going to have to do some more of these Radiant quests. So I make my way to Oberlin Station to speak to the settlers. Apparently they're having troubles with the ghouls across the river and they need us to clear them out. And because we're playing Fallout 4, what she really means is, go to the subway station below the location and kill one very specific ghoul. There we go, easy peasy. I know I harp on about it a lot, it's just a really weird design choice. With that done, we can return to Sanctuary and finally talk to Preston about the castle. Before they collapsed, this pre-war fort was essentially the Minutemen's defensible HQ. Granted, it's seen better days and it has something of a Mirelurk infestation going on, but as our Minuteman army is growing by the day, it wouldn't hurt to have a nice stable base of operations. Of course, that means we're going to have to dethrone a Mirelurk queen, but you know what? She's not turning invisible and I'm not using a boxing glove, so I'm not too worried about this fight. And since I have 2 critical hits in the bank, I can wipe out large chunks of her health bar without breaking a sweat. Honestly, after my last run, I cannot begin to tell you just how satisfying it is to be able to use a firearm, and to be able to keep her at a safe distance. I won't be getting one shot by her claws anytime soon, and for some reason, she seems to be really struggling to hit me with her acid attack. In any other run, that would be absolutely obliterating my health bar. But this time around, I don't think she landed a single hit on me. The only damage I took were from other Mirelurks, which themselves are all very easily dispatched. Now, where's the queen? Oh. How the hell did you get in there? What is with this run? I won't lie, I'm a little upset that I didn't get to perform the killing blow. Either way, the castle is ours, the Mirelurk queen is dead, and I've leveled up. Yeah, I might as well take medic rank 2. As we'll be getting assaulted by the Institute later, I am going to have to do some renovations to the castle to make it just a little bit more defensible. However, before we can really start getting to work, we are going to have to wait a few days for the Mirelurk egg clutches to be dealt with, and for an important NPC to spawn. Well, I say important. She's important in the sense of we need her to progress the story. That's about it. Oh well, it's not like we won't have plenty to keep ourselves busy in the meantime. Right, Preston? Yay, more Radiant quests. I sure am glad Fallout 4 has so many of these. After all, who doesn't want to spend hours trudging to an absolute nothing of a settlement to get a quest from people who don't even have names? I think that's what bothers me the most about the Radiant quests for the Minutemen. The settlers we help don't have names or personalities or anything noteworthy. It's not that I don't have fun clearing out raided dens, it can be quite entertaining, and just getting to some of these places can be a challenge in and of itself, sometimes in ways you don't fully expect, like dealing with this bug, which apparently has way more health than you think it should, and does way more damage than seems reasonable, although I guess it is sticking its giant mouth thing into me. Oh hey, cooler behemoth. It couldn't hurt to try my luck against it. I haven't fought one of these things for quite a while. Oh no, getting too close, getting too close. Ever heard of personal space, friend? You have now, but like I was saying, actually getting to these places and then clearing them out, it's not boring. It's just a bit hard to feel invested when helping settler number 9257. It's one of those areas that I think Fallout 4 really fails in. At least there's monsters to kill on the way. Cool, level up. Oh hey, look, I meet the requirements for rank 3 of Rifleman. Yes please. If you're interested, we're up to 56 damage now. I know it's only a small gain, but I have a really good feeling that it's going to help us clear the raiders out of this future settlement site. So far so good. Oh crap, that one grabbed the fat man. Crap, crap, crap. Ah, thank Titan it missed. There's nothing to see here. The raiders go down easily, the turrets are dismantled quickly, and before you know it, we've established another settlement. One I bet we'll never return to. Let's keep the party going. On to our next quest. I guess we don't really need to do this. I could just go to sleep for like 3 in-game days and the NPC I need will spawn, but I prefer to be proactive. What's wrong? Super mutants across the road? You worried about them? Okay, I guess I can deal with that. Honestly, it's more of the same. Between my frankly disgusting damage output, the fact that I seem to be getting better at sharpshooting, and the ability to store critical hits for later, there are very few things in this game that can threaten me right now. Hey friend, the mutants are gone. Let me just hand those quests in. And back to Oberlin Station, because we got some more ghouls to deal with. And this time it's even further away. I honestly don't feel like the ghouls in this area should be a problem for you. I don't think they can even swim. Ah well, let's get to sniping. Hell, they barely even noticed I was there. I had caution on my screen, but that was the worst I ever got. And I've put no points into sneaking this run. I even tried passing some time by taking out every ghoul I could find. On the plus side, this extermination got me another level up. Seriously, if you're having trouble leveling up in Fallout 4, dump points into intelligence, you'll go up so much faster. In preparation for our upcoming attack on the Institute, I think taking the next rank of Refractor is in our best interest. Ugh, I'm in that place in a Fallout run where things are a bit boring and I'm mostly just waiting for stuff to happen. Might as well go to sleep. Oh yeah, I still need to report to Preston. Oh wow, that thing is fucked. Job's done. And hey, it's finally time to go to the castle, where we can meet one of the former Minutemen, Ronnie Shaw. She's fairly happy with the work we've done, but thinks we could be doing better. See, the castle's meant to have artillery. The only problem is the parts and schematics for such, well, they're kind of locked away in this armory. It's interesting that we need schematics to build artillery when we can already build turrets, generators, purifiers. I'm just saying the settlement building could use work. Either way, we want to get in there. And for that, we're going to have to take the long route, which means opening the workshop and clearing out this rubble here. And no, I don't know why we can't just scrap the big locked door, don't ask. With that, we can access the basement, which not only has a bunch of free landmines up for grabs, you know, provided they don't blow you up, but it also has a very pissed off sentry bot waiting for us. Hooray! And there's no sign of Ronnie Shaw, so I have no fire support. I don't know where she is. Knowing Fallout, she's probably caught on a wall somewhere. Luckily though, between having this pillar for cover, my respectable stim pack reserve, and our rather respectable damage output, it's not too long before the Sarge is finally relieved of duty. Okay, where the hell is Miss Shaw? Excuse me, why are you back here? You should have been with me, facing the sentry bot. It's not that I needed the help or anything, but like, if I have to deal with it, then surely you should as well. Whatever, it's fine. I'm still in triple digit ammo and I barely broke a sweat. And now if we go through this door, we can find the Minutemen General's outfit. Sure, it's not the best outfit available, but I might as well be dressed for the part. And if we just head up here, quickly press this button so Miss Shaw can't rob me of the pleasure, we find the armory and all the parts we'll need to build artillery. It's too bad I won't be able to use it, because the artillery is not a laser musket, and therefore I can't use it to hurt others. I already feel like I'm bending the rules enough putting these turrets down for our upcoming defensive. Let's just quickly sort this artillery quest out. Head up here, put the artillery down. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. Try again. Go up here, put the artillery down, assign someone to the artillery, equip the smoke grenade, throw the smoke grenade, after of course making sure the area is clear of any hostiles that I might accidentally kill, and after about 5 minutes the gun eventually fires and we've landed a shot. There we go, we have artillery for the castle and we've completed old guns. And now for a bit of a shopping spree, because I really want to buff the defences of the castle. I'm gonna need some parts, and this will take a while, so bear with me.
Friends all over.
So, I've been a bit busy, but it paid off. Granted, it wasn't smooth sailing. I did have to go back into the wasteland for parts at one point and died trying to do something kinda cool. I deserve that. But in the end, I was able to build 2 concrete walls to try and minimise insertion points. Also a lot of turrets, because Yeah, by the Titan, that lighting effect is just gorgeous. I even built myself a little guard tower here to take advantage of the fact that the future synth assault is going to largely come from this side of the castle. Granted, some synths will teleport directly into the castle courtyard, but I've now got vantage points over the two major assault angles. And during all that construction, I leveled up. Since I want to keep upgrading my musket, we're going to need the next rank of science. And then for some reason, I decided it would be a good idea to go and do some more Radiant quests. I couldn't tell you why. I suppose on some level I knew that Somerville Place just really needed to be defended. From apparently fuck all. Where's the invasion force? There's supposed to be an invasion force. Oh, I see, it got wiped out by the sentry bot, and now I have to kill the sentry bot. There you go. Don't say I never do anything for you. Well, I think we've waited long enough. Let's go piss off the Institute. It's actually really easy. All you have to do is murder one of their own. They're just so sensitive like that. At least I would murder one of their own. Sadly, there's no named characters out at the moment because it's nighttime. Alright, I guess I'll just go to sleep down here. I'll murder in the morning. I can't really tell you why, but killing nameless scientists throughout the Institute won't piss the faction off. The only way to properly upset them is to delete one of their named people. Maybe if you kill enough nameless scientists then the faction will get pissy at you, but I ain't got all day. I'm sorry about this, Newton. It's nothing personal, you're just literally the closest person to me. We're cool, right? Okay, I'm leaving. I swear, some people are so testy. All we've got to do is teleport out of here and, you know, this would be a really great time for them to kill me. Oh god, they're gonna kill me, aren't they? Wait. Oh, thank the Titan I'm still alive. Hey Preston, you know how when you kill members of a faction, that faction get mad at you? Well, don't be cross with me, but the Institute might be coming for us. Well, it was nice of him to reward my bloodlust with a level up. Let's trivialise the Institute's upcoming assault on me by taking rank 3 of Refractor. To the castle, we've got a defence to mount. Get ready everyone, I feel like this is going to be a long night. To be honest with you, I'm feeling quite confident. Between my musket's damage output and the massive concrete wall I erected, the synth attack force is really struggling to figure out what to do. And for some reason, a lot of these synths seem to have brought guns with beam scatterers on them, effectively minimising their range and minimising the threat they pose to me and the Minutemen. For real, their AI doesn't know how to handle the structure I've put in their way. The entire first part of this invasion felt like a massive joke. Even after I leapt off the wall to start looting the bodies, I was in very little danger. Don't get me wrong, if the guns can hit you, then they can hurt, but laser weapons are pretty much the only string to the Institute's bow. Honestly, this entire fight wasn't particularly difficult, it was just kinda long. I just sort of hung out on top of this wall picking off the synths that my Minutemen had been whittling down. I thought things were gonna get hairy when the synths started breaching the perimeter. Luckily enough, I was able to prepare for this. This archway here connects to the main gate of the castle. The main gate is facing the current direction of the synth invasion force, and you see in here, I've put some little fences up. Just by putting these here, I've made it harder for the AI to effectively navigate this area. So what we've got here is essentially a small kill room. We fought throughout the night. The synths kept on coming, but we just kept fighting. We were tired, we were wounded, but we were also determined. The castle had already fallen once, and we were going to make damn sure that it didn't happen again. Eventually, the synths got the message, and as the sun rose, heralding a new day for the Commonwealth, the Institute were in retreat. Well, no use in delaying the inevitable. Let's launch our counterattack right now, with a grand total of like 15 minutes of planning. And apparently our good buddy Sturgis has something that we could use. Hey bud, what you got for us? Ooh, a holotape that will allow us to take control of the teleportation relay, and essentially teleport our entire army right into the Institute. Of course, we now have to get inside the Institute ourselves, but that seems pretty easy. All we need to do is take a little swim in the Boston River and find one of the pipes the Institute are using to pull water in to cool their reactor. And there we go, access achieved. Whee! There are some defences down here, like these laser turrets that can eat away at your health if you're not careful, but they go down in only a few shots. There's also an annoying amount of feral ghouls down here, so you know, any number above 0. Most of them go down easy enough. When I saw this glowing one, I got a bit worried. I then immediately vaporised it. And Reavers, well, you guys haven't been dangerous since Fallout 3. What happened to you? You fell so far. Slaying all these ghouls got me to level 24, and I threw the point straight onto the next rank of Lone Wanderer. There's really not much to see here. There's a few more turrets and a couple of synths. Honestly, before I knew it, I'd found my way into the Institute proper. Let me just quickly grab my invasion force so that they don't feel left out, then we can begin the attack. Preston hands me a nuclear explosive that Sturgis whipped up. I think I have some questions for him later, but now it's time for what has to be a grueling battle against the Commonwealth's most technologically advanced... Oh, who am I kidding, it's piss easy. Most synths go down with only 2 fusion cells, and since they drop way more than I'm using, I'm not exactly going to be strapped for ammo. Combine this with my clever investment in the refractor perk, and I can tank most of the attacks they throw my way. Seriously, these are the guys that the Commonwealth are afraid of? Well, deeper we go. What can I say? What can I do to make this interesting? My deeply upsetting weapon is absolutely demolishing these guys. At least the gorillas put up something of a fight. They do heftier damage than I remember. I'm sorry, my sweet, but I've got a job to do. I kind of feel bad about this because I actually quite like gorillas. Thank the Titan the Institute weren't building elephants or something, because then I'd never be able to attack them. Have some of this, have some of that. and a little bit at this. Now we just pop in to see Director Sun, vaporize him, steal his access codes, override the security lockdown and issue an evacuation order. Now we can reach the generator room. For a second things got a little hairy here when a whole squad of simps targeted me and only me. I'm pretty sure my backup has already moved on to our next objective, so I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with these guys on my own. Honestly, I'm not mad though, this bit was kind of fun. This also highlights why I enforce that no companions rule during these runs. When you have any level of fire support, then things can become very trivial. And given the fact that your companions physically can't die, as long as you have enough stim packs you can keep them going. Which has now kind of sparked an idea in me for another run. Anyway, on with the invasion. I mentioned the reactor room earlier. We have to get there so we can plant that bomb that Sturgis made us. I make short work of the turrets, short work of the simps guarding the actual thing. Even the one that has a rocket launcher is barely a threat. And I specifically decided that I was going to clear out this entire room just for the challenge. Again though, my disgustingly high ammo count, paired with my musket's insane damage output, basically means that if I can see an enemy, they're already dead. Mad props to the laser musket though. I honestly didn't foresee this weapon being so viable for such a long time. Now we just plant the bomb, quickly teleport back to the entrance room. Oh yeah, because of our simp son. Hello, Simp Sean. Yeah, you know what, you can come with us. It's not your fault the Institute made you. I'm still not entirely sure why they did. Now all we have to do is teleport ourselves to a nice vantage point, and oh look, the detonator is already set up. Let me just flip the switches and hit the big shiny button. And with that act of genocide, we've completed the run. Well, that's all she wrote. Fallout 4 beaten with only a laser musket. I honestly expected this run to be much harder. I thought I would struggle to find ammo or to keep up with enemy damage resistances, but no, I utterly dominated the competition, and 2 of my 3 deaths were completely my fault where I misjudged timing and distance, neither of which are really a unique obstacle for the laser musket. And as for my first death, I just didn't outrun a missile in time. Yeah, so colour be impressed. The laser musket is surprisingly viable long term, and pretty satisfying to use, what with the nice use of sound effects and visuals that accompany your shots. I'll admit, Fallout 4 really nailed the laser weapons, they're just really fun to use. Well, the regular ones are anyway. The Institute ones, less so. So yeah, a nice easy run. Don't worry though, as we speak I'm midway through my next run and it's already way more of a challenge. But for now, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this. If so, do let me know. I always smile when I see your comments. Until we meet again, my friends, enemies and various entities, take care of yourselves, I love you all, and we'll see you next time.